Pokémon, I am invincible when I dig out the Eudemons fossils at the beginning. Author, Ultraman Zeta. Chapter 126. The prisoner appears. Naughty Latias. At the same time, in city alleys, Ash chased all the way, on an arched stone bridge, finally met the girl whom he met earlier, who made him feel very special. Latias transformed into a maiden. Only, there is no peace around Latias. Two strange women stalk her. The most conspicuous difference between the two women is the two long hairs, one gold one silver. Espeon, mind knowledge. Ariados, string shot. The mental force hit Latias, causing his body to freeze in place. A large number of white string shots spit out from Ariados' mouth, binding Latias up. This scene made Ash unbelievable. It simply refreshes Ash's 3 views. The two women actually ordered the Pokémon to attack the human girl. What's more, their attitude is also very frivolous. Among them, the silver-haired one trimmed his nails with scissors without paying attention. Having survived the first round of attacks, Latias frowned, just about to fight back. The child taught the two humans in front of him a lesson. Stop! A shout came from Ash's mouth. How can you command Pokémon to harm humans? Ash ran forward and reprimanded the two women 3 times. Human, little brother. Do you know what ridiculous things you're going to say? Besides, we are just communicating with her. Don't make too much fuss. The blonde woman whistled. Espeon, Shadow Ball. Hearing the sound, he jumped to Espeon at the tail of the cruise ship. His eyes glowed white on his haughty face. I said, stop. Seeing that the two of them still didn't give up, Ash got angry. Pikachu, Thunderbolt. Pikachu. Pikachu stood on all fours, concentrated the energy of his whole body, and radiated a dazzling gold current. In an instant, the current will cover the cruise ship including the two women. Ah! The two women screamed, and their bodies were limp on the seats due to the electric shock. The body ... becomes numb and numb. It's broken. The two women roll their eyes frequently. Ash seized the opportunity and tore off the spider web on the girl's body. Come with me. Grabbing Latias' little hand, Ash left towards the defense line where he had come. Ariados, don't let them go. Although the body is weak, the silver-haired girl still thinks about revenge. Ash, Pikachu. In the end, facing the unchanging Ariados and 2 daughters, Pishin hits Ariados with a quick attack, knocking him overboard. Immediately afterwards, a thunderbolt shot was added, which turned the hair of the 2 girls into coke, and could only defend people with the image of Aunt 0. Asking for flowers. My hair. Damn brats. And Latias, I won't let you down. All of this was seen by another alien Latias flying high in the sky. She nodded first, then shook her head again. Seems to be judging Ash and Latias on how they handled it. At last, looking at the 2 girls with bald heads, 0. The thought of punishment flashed in Latias' eyes. Soon, in the small area where the 2 women were, dark clouds gathered in the sky. A gold lightning soared down from the sky, once again splitting the 2 girls. They couldn't get back together again. Really struck by lightning, leaving the 2 girls suspected of being mentally ill. Ash took Latias, all the way to the cathedral. Are you okay? Halfway through, Ash looked to his side with concern. Turning around, I was surprised to find that, the side was already empty, and there was still a girl there. He even subconsciously forgot that he was still holding something in his hand. After he let go of his hand, Latias, who has hidden his figure, finally no longer has to worry about hurting Ash with his hand. Freed, she flew to Ash's sky. Seeing Ash's confused look, Latias looked like a real girl, covering her mouth and snickering. Chapter 127. Everyone catches the traitor. Ash was followed. Feeling a bit confused, Ash had to go to the cathedral. Halfway, Ash happened to bump into Xiaogang. The two walked together and arrived at the cathedral. To see the distraught Ash, Misty was visibly unhappy. At this point, seen by Yubei and others, and Serena make a bet with Yubei that Ash will definitely come to his senses and go to coax Misty. Yubei is of course on the front line of Ash or Airberg straight men. 300. As a result, Yubei won completely. I saw the theatrical version of canon in Ash, that is, after the prototype of the girl transformed into Latias appeared. Ash immediately chased after him desperately. Misty. Yubei shrugged. Look, I'll say it. Serena. That being said, but the action of Ash chasing him out still made Bai stunned. Shouldn't. How did Ash go after Stephanie's son-in-law? Isn't he only interested in Pokémon? Looking at canon, Yubei determined that this is a human being. It doesn't make sense. Thinking about it, Yubei decided to follow and have a look. As soon as I heard that Yubei was going to follow up to have a look, with Misty on the steps, I decided to follow up and have a look. Beautifully named. I can't worry about that Stephanie. I'm afraid that Ash will disturb her. Then, Serena, and Xiaojia, except for the elderly female mayor, everyone wants to eat melon, especially Xiaojia, who is in the entertainment circle, has an inexplicable obsession with eating melons. Everyone has an expression that I understand. It is more than words. Give Misty a burst of embarrassment. In the end, Xiaogang, who was the only acquaintance, became a punching bag, and his ears were red and swollen from being pulled. The injured Xiaogang huddled in a corner by himself. I'm obviously laughing, Why would you treat me so unfairly? With a cry, Ash almost found out. Misty hurriedly turned her head, and glared at Xiaogang ferociously. Shut up. Oh well. Xiaogang hesitated for a second, and stretched out his hand to cover his mouth. It's terrible to catch a woman with a contest condition. Everyone laughed. They hung behind Ash far away, and Ash followed the girl cannon all the way. Finally succeeded in catching up with it. He grabbed the girl's hand. Hey, why did you disappear just now? Ah. Pervert. The girl screamed and quickly pulled out her hand. When the people around heard the words, they all started pointing at Ash. It's not what you think. Hey, I helped you before. Please explain it quickly. In the face of people's doubts about his character, Ash looked nervous and looked at Cannon, hoping she could explain to him. As a result, when I looked at Cannon again, Cannon has long since disappeared. As before. Huh? People, where have you been? Wait for me. Ash yelled loudly, and ran out in the direction that Cannon left. Ash the bastard. Witnessing the whole process, Misty gritted her teeth. The surrounding temperature dropped a few degrees. The first line to eat melons. Yi-Bei and the others looked at each other, and they all saw the excitement in each other's eyes, because they felt very nervous and exciting. Soon, Ash disappeared at 2.7 at the end of the corner, and everyone hurriedly followed, and after turning into the aisle, Ash soon saw the girl cannon again, but this cannon. If you let Yi-Bei see it, he will see a data panel. At the same time, Yi-Bei cast a glance from the corner of the eye. I noticed that at some point, on the soaring in the sky in front of them, a camera with a spiral wing that could fly appeared. The target of the opponent's follow-up shot is Ash. There is a situation. Chapter 128 Odomare's Secret Realm, Fishing Law Enforcement. Yi-Bei didn't rush to make a statement. Follow the crowd quietly. At this time, Ash met the girl cannon again. This time, the performance of the girl is no longer indifferent. Instead, he is lively and looks familiar with Ash. Hey, why did you say that just now? Unaware that the girl in front of her is actually Ash transformed by Latias. In my heart, I still have a grudge against Cannon directly calling him a pervert and dying in public. Follow me. The girl's voice resounded in Ash's heart. Words fall. Latias ran out. Seeing this, Ash had no choice but to keep up. Ash bastard. O3 watched Ash being fascinated by the silent girl. Topsy-turvy. Misty clenched her fists angrily. What good is that kind of indifferent woman? Right. Misty turned her head and stared at Xiaogang with cannibalistic eyes. That's right. That's right. Xiaogang echoed again and again. And Serena also showed expressions of common hatred. From the corner of the eye, I glance at Yi-Bei from time to time, as if to warn him, don't be like Ash, fascinated by this strange woman. Topsy-turvy, makes Yi-Bei want to laugh but dare not laugh. At this time, Latias took Ash to a dead end. Under Ash's bewildered expression, his body went straight to a wall, and his body sank into it. Ash was dumbfounded, rubbed his eyes in disbelief. Out of curiosity, Pikachu followed, tentatively touching the wall with his tail. As a result, the next moment, the wall is directly like the surface of a lake, with ripples. Pikachu's tail is missing. The frightened Pikachu hastily withdrew his tail. However, after withdrawing, looking at the intact tail, Pikachu and Ash were lost in thought. Finally, one person and one pet bravely entered the barrier. This scene was captured by the camera. At the same time, it was also seen by Yi-Bei and others. This entrance. Yi-Bei and Serena looked at each other. All were stunned. Why is it so similar to the underground world? As for Misty and Xiaoju are all stunned. What's the situation? Let's go and have a look. Watching the camera rotating the spiral wing follow into it, it was Yi-Bei who reacted first. Enter the entrance. The scenery inside was beyond the expectations of Yi-Bei and others. Sunny and sunny, with lush forests, the verdant turf trails crisscross with the green plants on the roadside. In front of everyone's eyes, the girl who brought Ash here sat on the swing by the pool. Ash froze in place. At this time, Yi-Bei felt the flow of wind coming from the entrance behind him, and turned his head subconsciously. Who are you? The girl's coquettish voice sounded from behind everyone. The familiar female voice is exactly Cannon who killed Ash before. For a time, including Xiao 960s, everyone turned their heads in unison. Misty, Xiaogang, and Yi-Bei. Why are you here? Ash ran over curiously. Hearing this, Misty turned her head to one side. Xiaogang, on the other hand, showed his bewilderment after being discovered after being tracked down. Compared to this, I want to know why Latias is eyeing Ash. Always pay attention to the camera tracking angle. It was discovered that the real target of the camera was Latias, who had turned into a girl. Yi-Bei knows. Perhaps the other party has discovered Latias' disguise, and the real target is actually Latias. In addition, Yi-Bei is destined to be impossible to stay here for a long time. Rather than allow the danger to continue to lurk, it is better to directly fish for law enforcement. Chapter 129 The Heaven-Defying Alien Color Latias. In a word, Yi-Bei instantly became the focus of everyone's attention. Why did the tropics suddenly come to legendary Pokemon Latias? Everyone was puzzled. Yi-Bei smiled, but did not answer directly, glancing from the corner of the eye. He noticed that the camera was approaching quietly, and began to speak slowly. As far as I know, the city of Odomare can have its current prosperity. It is inseparable from the sacrifice of the former pair of Latios and Latias. Sacrifice? Everyone's pupils shrank slightly. What are you talking about? The girl Canon held a drawing board and came to Yubai angrily. However, an old and aged voice sounded, but it refuted the girl's question. Don't act recklessly, Canon. A white-bearded old man with grey hair and slightly shorter stature came out of the woods. With a curious look on his face, he looked at Yubai. Little friend, how do you know such a secret thing? Shouldn't you introduce yourself before asking someone a question? Yubai smiled back and asked, oh, indeed, this is the old man's fault. 17. The little old man bowed slightly to everyone. Hello everyone, my name is Ben Gray, and I am Canon's grandfather. Canon, that is, the fierce girl in front of the guest. Also please don't care about her attitude. Yeah, she just cares too much about Latias. If you really feel offended, then the little old man, I am here to apologize to you on her behalf. As he spoke, he wanted to bend down to apologize to everyone. At the critical moment, Yubai reached out to support the old man, and answered the old man's previous questions. Actually, it's the answer I came up with in combination with reality. The condition for the birth of Soul Dew is that Latios or Latias sacrifices himself to incarnate Soul Dew. Combined with the fact that Odomare has a Soul Dew, at least one Latios, or Latias, was once sacrificed here. It turned out to be like this. When the old man Ben Gray heard the words, his face showed a look of surprise, and he nodded secretly. So to speak, it all makes sense. No way. Grandpa. The girl Canon looks unbelievable. Seeing Grandpa's reaction, is it true that Latios Latias sacrificed for Odomare? It is true. Ben Gray slowly told the story of family inheritance. Once upon a time, a couple in Odomare picked up a wounded brother and sister on the beach. Take them home and take care of them. Later, the tsunami was about to engulf Odomare. In the nick of time, the brothers and sisters who were picked up showed their real bodies, and they turned out to be brothers and sisters of different colors. Latios. To save the couple, Latios dedicated his life and transformed into Soul Dew with his body to neutralize the tsunami. The couple in the story are ancestors. But, what about the other Latias left? The girl Canon, as well as Kikukawa, Serena, Misty, and Ash all showed curiosity. That Latias guarded Odomare for 1,000 years, and later, seemingly tired of the lonely life, after summoning the current Latios brothers and sisters, they left. Ben Gray tells all he knows. At this time, Yubai, who was paying attention to the movement at the entrance, was dumbfounded. Because in his perception, there is something at the entrance forcing the wind to flow. Turning away from the corner of the eye, a panel came into view, Wang Zhao's, which directly made Yubai dumbfounded. Latias, Dragon plus Hyper? Ability, Floating? Talent, KI? Level, 135? Special ability, Species Strength Special Attack plus 60, Speed plus 40. Possesses absolute learning ability, can learn all Dragon plus Super Energy moves, including exclusive to beasts. Exclusive skills, Mist Ball, Luster Purge Latios, Photon Geyser Solgaleo, Prismatic Laser Necrozma, Clangorous Soul Rod Tail Scale Dragon, Dragon Energy Regidrago. Chapter 130 Serena Unite. Xia Gang, it's better to be single. Been found? Latias, who hides his figure, looks curiously at Yubai. Could this be the alien Latias in the story? Yubai looked thoughtful. But one thing is certain, Latias is certainly not a prisoner. Yubai didn't come up to talk because of this Latias attribute. Excellent. Soon the peripheral vision will be taken back. This makes Latias feel normal. It really is a coincidence. But, to Yubai's disappointment, the culprit never showed up. First, the Latias who teased Ash appeared in front of people, then Latios showed up and staged a farce. At first, Latios showed great hostility towards everyone, especially Ash who hooked up with his sister. But, persuaded by Latias 677, Latios gave up his prejudices and chose to trust Ash. Everyone sent out their cute Pokémon. Yubai only sent out the new leaf Meow. Meowth had a great time with Pikachu and Latias Latios. A play. Time flies by. It was getting dark quickly. It was time for everyone to return to the hotel. Could it be that it is far away from the scene? Or is it that you want to wait until early in the morning to make a move? Yubai's brain is running at high speed. Thoughts sink into the underground world. Yubai established a secret base here, and left a number for Canon. You can contact him in case of crisis. Of course, if only this is definitely not enough. Under the strange stares of Serena, Xidua, and Misty, Yubai pulled Canon aside, quietly revealed his Interpol identity to the girl, and told Canon about the theft of the museum books and the fact that some bad guys were eyeing on Latias. During this period, Canon was taken aback and almost exclaimed, "Or Yubai has quick eyesight and quick hands," covering the girl's mouth directly. Then raise your index finger and put it in front of your lips, made a silent gesture. Don't say it, there are cameras there. After confirming that the girl had calmed down, Yubai let go of her tail. but maybe because the distance is too close, Canon blushed immediately. His cheeks were slightly hot, and this scene, it made Misty show a subtle expression even more, while and Serena were puzzled. Fiery wrath. This woman. What magic is this? It's okay for Ash to be like this. Why is Yi-Bei like this? The two women looked at each other. The fighting spirit is growing in my heart. I must squeeze Yi-Bei hard tonight. Adage. The big deal is to go together, and it is absolutely necessary to make Yi-Bei no longer have the desire to flirt. The scene of the interaction between Yi-Bei and Canon, even the old man Ben Grey looked a little strange. When did my granddaughter become so gentle? He is not angry when his mouth is covered by a strange man, and he nods frequently, as docile as a bird clinging to him, even blushing. This unscientific. Shouldn't it? Yi-Bei left the business card made by Annabelle helped Canon, then back to the crowd. After the blushing Canon approached, everyone saw the card in Canon's hand. After seeing clearly that it was a business card with contact information, Xiaogang has a learned expression. Thinking about it, it is indeed more effective to pick up girls with a business card on your body. If Yi-Bei does this, is he really not afraid of and Serena getting angry? Looking at the two women, after seeing the expressions of rage on both girls, Xiaogang showed a gloating expression. Hee, it's still like this with a girlfriend power trip. It must have been retribution. Xiaogang seemed to have seen Yi-Bei kneeling on the washboard in a grieved form being targeted by the two women. Haha, it's good to be single. Leaving the Odomare secret realm, the people returned to where they lived. Under the night, upon returning to the hotel room, and Serena went to take a shower together, and decided to launch a joint offensive later. At the same time, under the night, the two women who were electrocuted into bald heads earlier, at this moment, they put on black tights and a wig, galloping along the roof, body agile and agility. Ipam will turn blue when he sees his vigorous skills. Chapter 131 Latios gets caught. Grandpa, I'm a little worried. Latios, go out for a while. You'll go to bed first. After dinner, Canon picked up his phone and went out. Wait. You can't do this, girl. It is too easy to get. Men will not cherish it. What's not to cherish? Canon was stunned. Oh, I won't tell you anyway. I'm going to see Latios. I won't be back tonight. Ben Grey, you're better off seeing the Latios than the little goldfish. Here Canon went out of the room, planning to lurk in the secret realm, waiting for the criminal to show up. It is best to contact Yi-Bei in time. As a result, the night was too dark. Canon didn't notice that two black shadows swished into the entrance, then crawled on both sides of the lawn. Espion, sleep cleans the field. Ariados, go and tie the man up. Two commands are issued. Soon, Canon's figure was discovered by using Psychic's Espion. Where's the Espion from? Canon looked at the pink Pokemon in front of him in doubt, with a curious expression on his face. Suddenly realized that this is probably the prisoner's Pokemon. Canon is just about to contact Yi-Bei. In the next second, he was hypnotized, and his body fell limply on the grass. The phone falls to the ground. Ariados followed, tied up Canon with string shot. Espion Psychic Sweep, found Ben Grey eating in the room. Do the same to the old man. Sensing Psychic's peeping, Latios and Latios of rest contest condition wake up. Decided to come out and have a look. At the same time, on the highest canopy, the heterochromatic Latios silently watched what happened. It was she who called the two juniors to Odomare, and she was supposed to protect them, but she can't always guard Latios and Latios after all. Recognizing the evil of human beings, learning to distinguish between good and evil, and being on guard are also what they should learn. The next scene was not beyond the expectation of the strange color Latios. Even after witnessing Canon and Ben Grey being hypnotized and tied up, Latios and Latios did not attack immediately. Espion, Psychic, Ariados, Poison Barb. Two women direct the Pokemon to attack first. Latios protects his sister. He took the initiative to block the attack with his body, but Latios tries to communicate with the two women to resolve the conflict. What the two Pokemon don't know is that because of their kindness, they fuel the arrogance of the two thieves' power trip. It looks unexpectedly weak. Both of them took out a bazooka from the shoulder bag at the same time. The device inside the bazooka is not a thermal weapon, but a restraint device, a set made of evil Pokemon skins, which can greatly suppress Psychic's net. At this moment, Latios and Latios looked at each other. They have used the special ability of the Lady family to refract light with feathers to make themselves invisible. Are you going to fight back? Alien Latios looked expectantly at the two nephews. Although not in the habit of attacking human beings, asking for flowers, but it is the most correct way at present. Moreover, she will personally come forward afterwards to teach the two how to distinguish what kind of human beings can use violence. But to her disappointment, even after being invisible, Latios and Latios' brothers and sisters failed to attack. Missing? The two female thieves also came prepared. After finding that Latios and Latios could not be seen, he decisively changed into the prepared temperature goggles. You can judge the temperature changes in the outside world through the glasses. 0. Sense the whereabouts of Latios and Latios. Soon, The two girls found the invisible Latios. Found it, let's go. The elder sister of the two girls was the first to aim the muzzle at Latios and shoot a large net. Swish. The big net shoots out at full speed. Latios wanted to use Psychic to transfer it, but found it ineffective. By the time he reacted and wanted to escape, it was already too late. The big net soon hit the invisible Latios and tied it up! The two women looked at each other, and both saw the excitement and greed in each other's eyes. The big brother was arrested, which made Latios feel extremely anxious. Confusion is released. Trying to tear the big net, but it doesn't work. Want to use other means of attack, but afraid of hurting big brother. Suddenly, Latios thought of Ash and eBay that he had met during the day, and a flash of determination flashed in his eyes. By connecting the external moat, sadly left the secret realm, went to ask for help. Chapter 132 Resurrected Fossil Pokemon. With special glasses, sweeping through the woods, after not seeing Latios for a long time, the two female thieves looked at each other, a little unsure. Run away? After a pause, my sister said, never mind her, go and get Soul Dew first, it's a treasure handed down from thousands of years ago. Alien legacy of Latios. 2. The two girls walked to the water spring. The line of sight falls on the Soul Dew, which exudes a moist light and seems to have a calming effect. There was a trace of greed in his eyes. 570. Pull out Soul Dew. Under the moonlight, my sister holds Soul Dew in her hand and observes carefully through moonlight. It's so beautiful. Let's go to the cathedral to try the device there. Sister spoke. Let Ariados carry the chained Latios, heading towards the cathedral. What about the two of them? The younger sister looked at Canon and Ben Gray. Leave them alone. The other side, leaving the secret place, Latios activated Psychic, and found the breath of Ash and eBay in Odomare. Soon, she first sensed the breath of Ash. Without thinking, Latios flew all the way to the hotel where the three of Ash stayed, seeking Ash help. At the same time, cathedral, according to classic records. The two women put the captured Latios on the imprisoning energy supply device. By drawing on the Psychic of Latios, the device starts from the dusty contest condition. The gigantic contraption is made entirely of heavy Aerodactyl. Even if the width is 20 centimeters thick, it can resist the attacks of most Pokemon. The cockpit of the machine is an Aerodactyl sphere. A quarter of the ball opens outwards, and then strokes upwards, reveals the entrance to the cockpit. The mouth of the black hole is creepy. Such an Aerodactyl hatch is really safe, but if the machine fails, can it really come out? Just when my sister was hesitating, I'll try. The younger sister with a more reckless personality rushed into it first. Before my sister speaks out, with a quick operation, the younger sister closed the hatch. Immediately afterwards, curiously opened the blocking programs set in the device. All are institutions designed to prevent foreign enemies from invading in ancient times. Surrounded by historic buildings in Odomare, strips of Aerodactyl extend out from the mechanism, staggered to form iron gates. Block the connection of each area. At the same time, after Latios found Ash, he told Ash about the situation, especially mind sync with big brother Latios, passed over the content about the cathedral, so Ash decided to go to the cathedral immediately to help Latios get out of trouble. Close call, out of the shackles of the Aerodactyl gates, leapt down, and fell into the waterway between the districts. So close. Jumping from the second floor into the water, looking back, Gun and Misty already bound by the Aerodactyl gate. Ash showed a scared expression. Ash, you go first, we'll be right there. Okay, let's go, Latios. Ash and Latios looked at each other, followed the tributaries towards the cathedral. Perspective change. Inside the machine, Sister Thief saw a strange sign in the corner, pointing her finger on it. Next moment, Kabutops and Aerodactyl fossils located in the cathedral ground tiles float delicately into the air. Under the influence of Latios' Psychic, regroup, turned into their former appearance. Interesting, I didn't expect this kind of function. Go and get Latios for me. Get orders. The two totem fossil Pokemon immediately came out of the great church like a ghost. At the same time, Canon woke up from a faint in a daze. As soon as he opened his eyes, he saw Ben Gilly lying on the ground, and she was in a bad mood. Grandfather, shaking Ben Gray, and testing his breath again. After discovering that it was just a coma, Canon breathed a sigh of relief. Then he quickly ran to the place where he was lying down at first, and searched for the phone and eBay's business card that had fallen on the ground. Where the hell? I found it. Chapter 133 Big Crisis. Latios in distress. Canon turned on the phone, called eBay and relayed the general situation that he and his grandfather were hypnotized, and Latios and Latios disappeared. After hanging up the phone, Canon went straight to the pool. Sold you. Looking at the empty pool, Canon looked miserable. Grandpa, I'm going to see the cathedral. While speaking, he passed Ben Gray, who was struggling to get up from the hypnosis, and went straight to the secret place, out of the mystery. Looking at the surrounding buildings, his eyes swept over the iron gate drilled from the dark passage. The worries in my heart became reality. Not only did the thief leave without stealing anything, On the contrary, O3 openly stared at the device in the great church that had been dusty for thousands of years. Damn it! Gritting his teeth tightly, Cannon's legs moved faster. Soon, Cannon, who was out of breath, finally rushed to the cathedral, and the scene, as she expected. The huge Aerodactyl machine, in action. Stop it! If you do this, you will destroy the whole Odomare. Cannon rage roared, trying to persuade the two female thief. Did you break free from hypnosis so quickly? Sister Thief raised her eyebrows while holding the camera. Espion, confusion. Ariados, string shot. Now my sister is in the machine. Thief's sister commands two Pokemon by herself. Confusion hits Cannon. Girls like bolt strike. The body was stiff and flew backwards. Ariados protrudes a large amount of white silk from its mouth, wraps Cannon around it, and binds it to the large woven net. Stop it, you will harm tens of thousands of people in Odomare. Cannon's eyes are tearing apart. You know, the current Odomare residential areas are firmly bound by the Aerodactyl gate. In case of a tsunami, these people will all become souls of the dead under the tsunami. Do these two damned women really have no sense of guilt or sympathy? Haha, what does that matter to us? Come on, we're Thief talking. Sister Thief showed a disdainful expression, raised the camera in her hand. As long as the power of this soul due is verified, we can only sell it at a high price and live a good life for the rest of our lives. Wouldn't it be more meaningful to use tens of thousands of human deaths to achieve the happy life of our sisters? Ha ha ha. Beasts. You don't deserve to be called human beings at all. What? Being scolded by a prisoner, Thief's sister looked fierce, stepped forward, snapped. A slap hit Cannon's mouth hard, and blood overflowed from the corner of Cannon's mouth. Brute. Cannon still has no fear, looking at Sister Thief's eyes, full of hatred. Arsehole. Espion, mentally strong. Forget it. Thief, who wanted to kill Cannon directly, flashed an evil smile at the corner of his mouth. Ha ha ha, the bones are hard, aren't they? Then I will let you witness with your own eyes the end of Odomare. Under the operation of Sister Thief, the tide of Odomare receded rapidly, and once the seawater squeezes to a certain extent, 277 large tsunamis will inevitably occur. Bastard. Guanxing. Cannon's struggle wanted to break free, but he was powerless and could only witness things going in the worst direction. At the same time, under the moonlight, Ash and Latias were on their way to the cathedral. The huge figure Totem Aerodactyl appeared above the two. A huge black shadow instantly enveloped both of them. It's dark. No, the sky is already dark. What about your eyes? Ash looks up in doubt. As a result, what came into view was a bloody maw shining with dazzling white light. No, get out of the way, Latias. Pikachu, 10-1 volt. Chapter 134. Totem Aerodactyl resistant. Yibei shot. Pikachu. Vision roared, and a dazzling thunderlight was released from his body, and the electric current burst into the air. Destroy the death ray. Under the moonlight, Aerodactyl opened its bloody mouth wide, spitting out hot white light from the mouth. The beam of light collides with the lightning, devouring and cancelling each other. After a brief stalemate, the white light suppresses the lightning and extends downward. The unrivaled destructive death light descends like a thunderbolt. And Ash and Pikachu have already been taken away by Latias through the surf device. Boom. The white beam of light fell into the water, and a large amount of river water was instantly evaporated by the blazing heat. Zizzy. A large amount of white mist was formed, and the heat rose, and soon it went straight into the sky, blocking Aerodactyl's sight. After a short period of confusion, the Totem Aerodactyl dual wing beat flapped, blowing a powerful hurricane and sweeping the passageway below. The white mist was quickly blown away. Leaping around the corner, Aerodactyl quickly caught up with the fleeing Ash and Latias. Thunderbolt. Pikachu once again released the dazzling thunder, and the gold current quickly attacked Aerodactyl. Rock slide. A huge energy rock fell from the sky. The current of Thunderbolt fell on the rock, only brought a little scorched black burn marks to rock. Rock was unmoved, and continued to fall down at an extremely fast speed. Mist ball. In the nick of time, Latias turned. The dragon's mouth is slightly opened, and the violent dragon's energy is brewing and gathering, and finally condensed into an energy ball. As soon as the exclusive move Mist Ball appears, it immediately emits an invisible coercion, sweeping the surrounding small area. It made Aerodactyl, who was about to continue the concentrated attack, tremble, and stood there dumbfounded. And Latias, who condensed this attack, also lost his strength and almost fell into the river. Swish. The light blue mist ball shoots at the Aerodactyl in the air like lightning, encountered rock slide attacks along the way. The huge energy rock was instantly destroyed and pierced by the tiny mist ball. The mist ball exuding palpitating coercion directly hit Aerodactyl, who was standing still on the spot. Boom. The mist ball exploded, and the violent energy crazily hit Aerodactyl's body. The shockwave swayed away, setting off a strong air wave. Totem Aerodactyl's huge body was blown out instantly like a cannonball. It is difficult to continue chasing in a short time. Only, as an exclusive move with terrifying power, similar to the attack, it is also difficult for Latias to perform a second release in a short period of time. Well done, Latias. Let's save Latios while it's now. Ash gave encouragement, and Latias regained his spirits. and the effect was outstanding. The group quickly moved towards the direction of the cathedral. However, I only ran out for 2 or 3 minutes. In soaring in the sky behind him, the figure Totem Aerodactyl reappeared soon. Flamethrower. A fiery pillar of fire spit up from the mouth of Aerodactyl, and the pillar of fire landed on the surface of the water, and the high temperature evaporated a large amount of river water. The high temperature will rapidly increase the temperature under the night sky. Wang Nuo's pillar of fire stretched forward with the advance of Aerodactyl, and it was about to cover Ash. Latias, get into the underwater. Say hello to Latias. Ash hugged Pikachu, pinched his nose and plunged into the underwater. Latias heard the words and followed suit. At the same time, under the night, after tidying up the battlefield, Yibea put on new clothes, released Dragonite and Greninja, and headed straight for the direction of the flames. Chapter 135 Skin God Latias gets violently beaten. Fetters Ninja Frog to the rescue. The fiery pillar of fire swept across where Ash was, and the surfboard floating on the water was burned to residue in an instant. The cold water of the river turns into a hot spring on the spot. Seeing the pillar of fire receding away, Latias and Ash resurfaced. Seeing the Totem Aerodactyl gradually moving away, Ash heaved a sigh of relief. Saved. However, Latias felt a little strange. Water left from upstream. Under the evaporation of the flamethrower. Shouldn't it be reduced? Why is it increasing instead of decreasing? Psychic release. A flash of vigilance flashed across Latias' eyes. There is a figure not inferior to Totem Aerodactyl upstream, sprinting towards where they are. Mist ball. Aiming in the upstream direction, Latias opened his mouth slightly, preparing to attack again. However, as an exclusive trick, the thin ball needs to consume too much energy. This time 923, Latias did not succeed, but in Latias' perception, that figure is approaching here at a faster speed. Oh no! Latias turned his head and tried to control Ash and Pikachu sure. And that figure obviously came prepared. Under the moonlight, a huge figure leapt out of the water, with 2 huge scythes covered with the blue energy of the water, and a bone-piercing chill shone under the moonlight. Aquajet. The great scythe swung downward. Swish. The sickle draws a line of water in the air blue after image. It turns out that another one was revived and sent to search for Latias' whereabouts. Kabutops, the Edgelord, was attracted by the movement of Latias and Aerodactyl. Zen headbutt. Aquajet comes too fast, comparable to quick attack and extreme speed. On land. At the critical juncture, Latias could only use his body to fight. Boom. The scythe collided with the headbutt. Water energy and psychic madly hedge, devour and consume each other. Soon, Latias was out of energy, and his defenseless body was exposed to the huge scythe of Totem Kabutops. Boom. Kabutops slashed Latias in the back. The violent force instantly blasted Latias out and fell into the water army. Liquidation. Kabutops also wants to pursue the victory. At the critical moment, after reacting, Ash finally stood up. Pikachu, tail. Pikachu's petite face flashed a touch of determination and fearlessness. The short feet suddenly exerted force. Pikachu's body jumps high into the sky, with a lightning-like tail, shining silver-gray or Bbook luster under the moonlight. A 360 somersault. Bbook's tail collides with the water scythe. Bbook energy and water energy madly hedge and devour each other, a moment of stalemate. In the end, Pikachu also stepped into the same footsteps as Latias, taking the lead to exhaustion. Bbook's energy was exhausted, and his tail softened instantly. Drilling out of the water, Latias gathered a circular shield in front of Pikachu, wrapping Pikachu in it. Boom. Liquidation is fully output on the protect barrier. Click. Barrier cracked. The shockwave formed by the huge impact exploded, setting off a gust of wind. Pikachu was shot like a football and fell into the water. Pikachu. Seeing this, Ash ran all the way and jumped towards the place where Pikachu fell into the water. Liquidation. Kabutops once again condense the attack, and this time, whether it is Latias or Pikachu, they are powerless to resist. Latias looked at Totem Kabutops who was getting closer to him, and slowly closed his eyes. Aerial. Alien Latias shook his head, just about to make a move. Mutations are born. Swish. A dazzling gold thunder landslides in the night sky. A huge golden shuriken entwined with the power of thunder bursts out from the shadows. Boom. Destroy. Totem Kabutops faced this attack, and was instantly sent flying like a cannonball, his body embedded in the wall. The instant change stunned Latias, Ash, Pikachu, all of them. In astonishment, he looked towards the direction of the attack. Who is it? Exclamation mark. Chapter 136. Bonding Ninja Frogs and Hercules. Dragonite's dominance. Under the moonlight, the images of Dragonite, Yibei, and Greninja appeared in everyone's eyes. Yibei, it's you, that's great. Ash beamed. There are 2 villains who have captured Latios, and are in the Great Sept, using Latios' power to do evil. Latios must be freed as soon as possible. I see. Out of the corner of the eye, I glanced at Ash, Pikachu, Latias, who watched the whole process in the air and did not make a move. Finally, Totem Kabutops who got up from struggle in the ruins and Aerodactyl who came back. Kabutops? Level. 88? Contest condition. Affected by Latios psychic, temporary resurrection. Aerodactyl? Level 95? CTS. Scan the data of 2 fossil Pokémon. A look of excitement flashed across Yubei's face. You go to the Great Cathedral first, and leave it to me here. Then please. Ash exchanged a quick glance with Pikachu Latios without grumbling. Let's go. A group of people walked quickly towards the direction of the cathedral. Aquajet. Water blue energy supports Kabutops to launch a quick sprint, heading straight for Latios. Rock slide. Huge energy rock appeared in the air, and like a meteorite, it smashed towards the departing Latios. From beginning to end, both Totem Kabutops and Totem Aerodactyl always remember that their mission is to capture Latios instead of fighting with others. It's just that Yubei, who has already set his sights on the two, won't let them get what they want. Stop them, and I will leave this place to you. Words fall. Yubei exerted strength on his legs, and his body rose into the air. Under the moonlight, Yubei leapt over the roof, and the blue energy dual wing beat was generated behind him. The whole person is as agile as a Pokémon, flying towards the direction of the great church. In situ, Dragonite and Greninja selected their combat targets almost at the same time. Greninja's legs bounced up, his whole body lit up with dazzling white light. His body was like a white lightning. In an instant, they caught up with Kabutops under the Aquajet contest condition, pulling out the huge water shuriken from behind. He slashed with all his strength, leaving an afterimage of white sword energy in the air at such a high speed. Swish! Extreme speed collided with Aquajet, and the violent white energy quickly ate away the water blue energy. Form a suppression. Boom. Ask for flowers. With the energy of the water blue being devoured, Greninja's full blow landed on Kabutops' waist completely. The attack exceeded the upper limit of Kabutops. Totem Kabutops was cut in half, and his body was redisintegrated into fossils and fell into the water. A gap between the end of the attack, out of the corner of his eye. He glanced at the rapidly falling rock slide, and Greninja threw out a huge shuriken. Swish! With no doubt, huge shuriken straight through the power rock. The aftermath of the attack sent the shattered rock residue towards Whirlwind in the direction it came from. Almost at the same time, the battle on the other side has also fallen. Veilstone. Dragonite's body is also wrapped in a large amount of white light, and the dual wing beat is fanned like a heavy truck. A white lit punch violently swung out. Boom! Under the night, Dragonite punched a sonic boom. All the power explodes, and the double power of the Hercules bonus is fully released. Totem Aerodactyl's body was blown up. One by one, the fossil remains were rushed in all directions by the shockwave. The battle is over. Looking at each other, Ninja flipped and landed on Dragonite's back, like the brave dragon in a fairy tale, heading towards the great church. Chapter 137 Latios' Revenge. Tsunami Crisis. Cathedral. Stop! Ash rushed to the scene panting. However, through the monitoring brought by the equipment, the thief sisters, who discovered Ash's whereabouts early on, were already prepared. The elder sister who was outside secretly waved 2 Pokémon and shot at the same time. Hypnosis. String shot. What? Pick up. Layers of invisible but drowsy Psy-wave patterns shot towards the door, hitting Ash and Pikachu. After a breath, Ash fell to the ground first, lying on the cold marble surface. At this moment, the fluffy Pikachu seems to have drank 2 catties of fake wine, shaking 837 and lying on his back in Ash's arms, slowly closing the heavy eyelids. One person with 2 Pokémon, only Latios avoided hypnosis with excellent speed. Looking at Latios, turned into a source of machine energy, squeezed and physically tormented. Then he glanced at Ash and Pikachu who were lying on the ground, bound by spider silk, and cannon not far away. Rage in Latios' heart boiled to a climax. Psychic. Latios unleashes a frenzy of psychic. An invisible wave of confusion sweeps Espeon, Ariados, and the older sister of the female thief. Boom, boom, boom. The bodies of the 3 flew upside down, and tackle fiercely on the wall of Airberg, making loud noises. Latios' angry blow caused the 2 Pokémon to be injured in different degrees. Thief sister who only has a human body, deeply wounded. The head and internal organs suffered a huge impact, resulting in large and small ruptures. The wounds in the body make its meaning blurred. Boom. The body fell to the ground with blood overflowing and remained motionless, as if he was dying. Elder sister. Sister thief, who has no parents since she was a child, only relies on her sister to steal to get enough food. My eyes turned red when I saw this scene. Why died? Die. I want you all to die. Go and be buried with my sister. The so-called hateful person must have pity. Although the 2 women are indifferent to life, they feel that the lives that have nothing to do with them don't care whether they live or die. But the relationship between the 2 sisters is extremely deep. There is a feeling of living and dying together. Pointing to the destruction plan on the screen of the machine, Sister Thief clicked to start. The so-called destruction plan, it is the last procedure set by the ancient people in the past in order to protect Odomare from being occupied by foreign enemies, is a program that all dies together. The water source of the entire town is forcibly discharged into the deep sea, causing a bottoming out and submerging the entire Odomare through a large tsunami. Even if she couldn't leave, she would let the whole of Odomare be buried with her sister. Machine running. Almost drained the power of Latios, drained the power of the machine, causing the device that binds Latios to collapse instantly. Latios' body fell from the air. Latios flew over quickly and carried the exhausted big brother on his back. Asshole, do you know how many people will be killed by doing this? Cannon looked at the machine operating cabin with hatred, and tears overflowed from the corner of his eyes. When Yan, recalling the story told by Ben Gray, the exhausted Latios suddenly showed firmness in his tired eyes. Looking at her younger sister Latios, she is full of love and reluctance. Outside world, running all the way to the direction of the cathedral. Ben Gray looked at the rapidly receding river water around him, and the little old man fell to the ground. It's over, it's over, it's over now. Holding his head in pain, the little old man was unable to close his eyes, chanting words. Damn bastard, bastard, $. Yi-Bei passing by. What's over? Glancing at the ditch that was gradually receding and drained, Yi-Bei was full of doubts. Damn bastard, they activated Odomare's last defense procedure. The tsunami is coming. We're all going to die here. Ben Gray's voice of resolving doubts was full of powerlessness, and his eyes were full of silence and gray. Yi-Bei murmured softly. He raised his head and glanced at sky, and at some point, he had already shown his figure, looking solemnly at the strange glaciers in the deep sea. 3.9 Looking back, Yi-Bei waved his hand from the little old man. I have something to do, let's leave first. Let's go, let's go. Hey. In Ben Gray's mind, Yi-Bei must have run away because of the bad situation. However, when the soaring in the sky was covered and the body was shrouded in shadow, a thunderous dragon chant spread throughout the world. Ben Gray, who felt his soul trembling, he raised his head dumbfounded. What happened? Raising his head, Ben Gray was surprised to find that suddenly, a black dragon appeared in the sky. Chapter 138 Comfortable Alola, Latios is shocked. It's getting brighter. In a two-story building, Xiaoju got up early as usual. This is not only due to her self-discipline of getting up early, but also because of the continuous loud noise in the middle of the night, which disturbed her and she couldn't sleep. During washing, Xiaoju bit her toothbrush and stretched out her hand to open the wooden window on the balcony. Realization looked out the window and came into view, a huge black giant covering soaring in the sky. Black's dragon, dagger. Xiaoju's delicate red lips are wide enough to fit a round stick, and the toothbrush falls to the ground. Alien Rayquaza. Such a behemoth actually visited Odomare, but luckily it did not attack the town. After the initial fear, without saying a word, Xiaoju quickly ran to the hall, pick up the camera on the table, run to the window. The camera is aimed at Black Rayquaza and it is a sudden shot, and of course selfies. 03. At the same time, Johto region, the person in charge of monitoring the situation at sea, sitting in front of the monitor. After staying up all night, the person in charge's eyes were bloodshot. Suddenly, on the monitor in front of him, the tidal fluctuation value instantly soared, and the color also changed to red, which symbolizes danger. Buzz buzz. The alarm sounded throughout the ocean monitoring center, and the news was quickly reported to Yulongdu. A similar situation also happened in the Orange Islands and Alola region. Johto region. Yulongdu received the report. An emergency meeting was held immediately, at which Yulongdu distributed the received news to everyone. The person in charge who has just cleaned up the flood control facilities on the coastline. This is really Houndoom. I have overcome the tsunami. What is the sense of existence when I come out to brush all the time? But, with the lessons learned from last time, everyone is also very interested in the cause of the tsunami. I want to ask if this is another movement made by that great god. The specific cause is unknown, but everyone. The situation is urgent, so let's act as soon as possible. After all, Yulongdu left the room and went to make a phone call. For this kind of thing, although there are many people in the alliance, in the midst of such a catastrophe, at best, it can only be used as a slap in the face. If you really want to dominate natural disasters, you have to use a legendary level trainer who holds a divine beast or shake people. At the same time, the Orange Islands, the worry in Lorelei's heart is even stronger, as the first line of defense against the tsunami in the Kanto region. The Orange Islands. More pressure to bear. Not long ago, it was hit by a tsunami that affected almost all the islands. If it is encore this time, too much damage to the Orange Islands. Without any hesitation, Lorelei also contacted Yi-Bei immediately for help. Unlike the urgency of the Johto region and the Agatha Islands, Alola, although it is also detected that there will be a large tsunami coming. But don't panic. Located in front of the four islands, the four island gods face the tsunami, and high above them, Mewtwo and Mew are chasing and fighting. Well, for Mew it's slapstick, but for Mewtwo it's fighting. Although Mewtwo and Mew do not belong to Alola, but if a tsunami comes, neither would stand idly by, let alone Lillie with a Solgaleo in her hand. It can be said that all the regions that are about to be affected by the tsunami, the atmosphere in Alola region is the most peaceful and comfortable. Lusamine thought about it after discovering the appearance of the four island gods and Mewtwo Mew, and simply gave up notifying the islanders to take refuge. Call Lillie over only in case you need it. Located in the deep sea trench of 830 not far from the incident, feeling the waves of the sea, Kyoga slowly opened his eyes. At the same time, over the sea, dark clouds and thunderstorms, heavy rain. It's just that this scene didn't last long. When Kyoga felt the truth of the wrath of the sea, turned over boringly, continued to fall into a deep sleep, absorbing the power of the law of the indigo blue orb. The thunderstorm on the sea also quickly dissipated. Odomare, Latios, whose physical strength is almost exhausted, relying on amazing willpower, dragging his exhausted body. He flew all the way out of the sky stamp precariously. He wants to use his own life to guard the town that witnessed the growth of him and his sister Latias. However, when Latios actually flew out of Odomare, the scene in front of him makes Latios stunned. Chapter 139 The Most Pure Person. Primal Groudon reveals his majesty. Into the eyes of Latios, a black dragon soars across the sky. Red's behemoth is covered with magma and exudes amazing heat. Red magma rolled from the red giant into the sea. The high temperature evaporates the seawater, and a large amount of white mist rises. Alien Rayquaza. Primal Groudon. In the air, the strange-colored Latios looked at Yi-Bei with astonishment in his eyes. What kind of magical power does this trainer possess? It can actually convince such existences. At the same time, Cathedral. With Latios' help, Ash untied the spider silk from his body. With a good and honest heart, under Cannon's nervous gaze, Ash held the black-stained soul dew with both hands. Swish! A violent dark pulse hit Ash. Ash was in pain. His body was covered with a touch of black, and he was instantly thrown out. Boom! The body fell on a large block of floor tiles, creating a depression. Dense spiderweb-like cracks spread out in the pit behind Ash. Cannon ran over nervously. With such a serious injury, he must be gone. However, there was a scene where Cannon and Sister Thief in the machine were dumbfounded. It hurts. In the deep pit, Ash rubbed his sore buttocks, and stood up as if nothing had happened. It's silly for the two girls to see. Mega is really rookie. So scary. Are you okay? Cannon looked at Ash with a monster look. Although it hurts a bit, it's okay. I must bring Soul Dew back. Ash shook his head, and ran to the place where Soul Dew was placed on the machine again. This time, prepared Ash finally did not get blown away by the attack again. Instead, he safely withstood the attack. Gritting his teeth, he exploded with all his strength, abruptly taking out the half-blackened Soul Dew. Ash fell to his knees weakly. In the hands of Ash, Soul Dew has regained its whiteness. Cannon looked at Ash in surprise. Actually purify Soul Dew directly. What a pure soul. So surprising and amazing. At the same time, with the Soul Dew taken away, the heavy Aerodactyl machine room instantly went dark. It was dark all around. Scared Sister Thief out of psychological shadow. No, you can't take the Soul Dew. However, at this time, Ash, who was exhausted and hurt, had no time to talk to her. Cannon is even more distracted by taking care of Ash. Coupled with the outside world, a large tsunami struck, causing an extremely large momentum. Both of them rushed out of the cathedral, looking curiously at the direction of the tsunami. Latios, who was worried about the big brother, blinked a pair of smart eyes, and flew out of the great hall where the overall situation was basically settled. Soon, Latios caught up with big brother Latios on the edge of town. Come into view, the overwhelming tsunami almost covered the soaring in the sky, and the horrifying sound of the crashing waves made one's heart palpitate. However, in the face of such natural disasters, but Yi-Bei didn't feel any fluctuations in his heart. Groudon, Red, a giant beast with a height of tens of meters, slowly opened its closed eyes after these words appeared. For a moment, the world seemed to be enveloped by a terrifying aura. Primal Groudon is like an unsheathed stunning sword. The huge mouth opened, and violent and extremely oppressive flames brewed and converged from the mouth of the giant beast. Primal Groudon. Just the staggering heat aftermath of a simmering attack, it quickly evaporated a large amount of King's seawater around it. All the residents of Odomare felt the rapid heating up of the surrounding environment at this moment. Plastic melts, fresh water dries up. It was an amazing feeling to experience it firsthand. Is this the influence of the beast? Looking at Odomare from a distance behind, that crimson volcano-like figure, and the rising ambient temperature, on the forehead and on the white chest, Xiaojua, who was beading with sweat, was full of shock. It's just that rival is a tsunami after all. A real natural disaster. Groudon ... can win. Chapter 140 The Bridge Effect. Active Ice Queen Lorelei. Gula. Mouth roaring loudly, Groudon leaned back, his head rose to an apex, and pressed down violently. Boom. A fiery pillar of fire that is hundreds of meters thick shoots out in an instant, sweeping towards the tsunami in an instant, piercing the massive and overwhelming tsunami. The tsunami fell apart, even if it is a natural disaster that makes people feel discolored and unable to resist. In the face of absolute power, it is still as fragile as a piece of paper, and can be broken with a snap of the fingers. Along the way, where eruption passes, a large amount of seawater is evaporated, The seawater on the east and west sides was directly burned to create a line of absolute vacuum, and the continental shelf below was exposed between the sky and the earth. Groudon's attack cut the sea like jelly. The incision is extremely neat and smooth, forming a spectacle. After a delay of 2 seconds, the seawater on both sides converges towards the middle 470. Boom! There was a loud bang. The confluence of the seawater on the left and right sides makes the undercurrent in the seawater extremely complicated, greatly weakened the formation of tsunamis, and with the greatly weakened tsunami entering the territory of the end, the blazing high temperature continuously evaporated the seawater, which instantly weakened the power of the tsunami to the limit. A natural disaster that would have caused irreparable and huge impact if it was allowed to develop on its own, has actually disappeared like this. Far away, Xiaojua, Ash, Cannon, the Rockets trio in a corner, and even tens of thousands of residents were all stunned. In the heart, more awe of the gods and beasts. Come back, Rayquaza, forthwith. Did not let the two great beasts stay outside for a long time, witnessing the end of the tsunami. Yibei put them away. But, what happened to Odomare? But it doesn't mean that the tsunami incident really ended so hastily. The tsunami in other places is still raging. First timing, Yibei was transferred to the Orange Islands through the teleportation of the underground world. The Orange Islands are on the front line against the tsunami. Haven't you come yet? Looking at the rising waves of the tsunami on the sea level in the distance, Lorelei walked beside the Pokémon under his command, anxious like ants on a hot pan. Suddenly, a huge fiery red figure descended from the sky, and the boundless heat wave spread like water waves. Eruption. Follow suit. Primal Groudon leaned back and pressed down violently, emitting an ultra-high heat and thick pillar of fire that was almost as substantial as it was. Boom! The pillar of fire swept across, the seawater along the way was directly evaporated, and there, Adk, pillar of fire hit the main body of the tsunami with terrifying momentum, and exploded instantly. Boom, boom, boom. A series of explosions were produced, and the scorching high temperature instantly evaporated most of the seawater, sending it soaring in the sky. The remaining seawater was also washed away by the shockwave of the explosion. A gust of wind quickly blew up from the center of self-destruct, rushing in all directions. Lorelei at the front line bears the brunt. The body was instantly blown backward by the strong wind. While screaming, Lorelei suddenly felt his body enter a warm and reliable embrace. Instinctively made her turn around subconsciously. Her hands and legs tightened tightly around the person. Even if you do this, it will cause the jade rabbit to be squeezed and deformed and painful. In the midst of the storm, Yibei lowered his head and glanced at Lorelei, who closed his eyes tightly. Feel the weight on your body. Feeling deeply that Lorelei is genuine, he wrapped his arms around Lorelei's waist and put Primal Groudon away. Long time, waiting for the aftermath of the attack to dissipate. I can't feel the wind and waves. Lorelei finally loosened his coiled limbs and opened his closed eyes. Looked up, Lorelei finally saw the person in his arms. It was a very handsome young face. Yibei, I don't know if the so-called bridge effect has reacted. Curious coincidence. Lorelei moved her white hands around the back of Yibei's head, leaning forward with her mature and charming body, contaminated with seawater. Phoebe's beautiful face was like water, and the eyes with long eyelashes closed slowly after approaching Yibei. Lorelei's head tilted slightly, and a gust of fragrant wind came to his face. Chapter 141 Crystal Lineup. The aggressive royal sister Lorelei. Thanks, The rosy-cheeked Lorelei turned his head away. I mean, thank you for saving my hometown again. Witnessing a mature lady showing embarrassment, a smile appeared on Yibei's face. Thinking of the crystal Pokémon that was unlocked in the underground world not long ago, Yibei said thoughtfully, the World Championships are about to begin. Huh? Hearing this, the embarrassment on Lorelei's face was replaced by excitement. It is so, though still hopeless. Thanks to you, I now have the hope of hitting the top 8. That's not what I want to say. The corner of Yibei's mouth slightly. Come out, Onyx. The Pokeball opens and shoots out a huge light. The light gradually dissipated, revealing Onyx's huge and stout figure, which fit Yibei's temperament very well. This Onyx. Eyes fell on Onyx. A look of doubt first flashed across Lorelei's beautiful face, and then his eyes lit up. It's beautiful. What's going on with this crystal Onyx? Licking her delicate red lips, Lorelei's eyes were full of covet. Glittering things are simply girly, even the Ice Queen is no exception. This is a special kind of rock Pokémon, which can also be said to be an Ice-type Pokémon. Ice-type. Hearing the word Ice Element, Lorelei blinked her long eyelashes, and became more interested in understanding Crystal Onyx in her heart. Yes, Crystal Pokémon is a unique variation of Rock-type Pokémon. Crystal Pokémon are similar to chromatic Pokémon, but more rare, and, unlike Pokémon of different colors, there is a probability of realizing its own attribute changes based on genetic mutations, and there are individual differences. The Rock type of Crystal Pokémon will be fixedly replaced with the Ice type. Really? Do all Rock Pokémon have a chance to become Ice type? Lorelei was overjoyed when he heard this. Rock Pokémon, there are many existences that can be played in it. just like the Onyx in front of me. After evolving into Steelix, you can go one step further and realize Mega Evolution. Similar to the handsome Aerodactyl, the epiless Aggron, and even the quasi-god desert tyrant Tyranitar. They are all existences who can fight and also Mega Evolution. If this message, it's not that Yubei is teasing her. Assemble a crystal warband. Her future is bright. Changing the main force of the first team, in a short period of time. Her strength may become weaker instead. But there is a plug-in existence of the underground world. This process can be greatly reduced. Ask for flowers. Imagine the future of fighting Crystal Tyranitar versus Cynthia Garchomp. Lorelei felt his soul tremble. And all this was brought about by Yubei. Thinking of this, Lorelei looked Yubei directly under Yubei's bewildered expression. More than 10 minutes. Lorelei showed a happy expression on his face, under Yubei's unsatisfactory and somewhat bewildered gaze. The almost familiar Yuji smiled, snapped. With a snap of her fingers, Yuji blinked at Yubei. Then he turned around and left gracefully. It left Yubei with a plump and mysterious back. Although I really want to have a close relationship with Yubei, but the timing did not allow. It's not about going to the underground world to farm crystal Pokemon. Rather, as an Alliance elite, and as the spiritual pillar of the Orange Islands, Lorelei also needs to check the disaster situation of each island. Although there are Yubei and Groudon's shots, there may be little possibility of disaster. But at least take a look at the situation and appease the somewhat unstable emotions of the people after the disaster. Watching Lorelei leave, Yubei stared at Lorelei's round and plump buttocks, and licked his lips unsatisfied. What a domineering and strange woman. However, don't feel bad about it. Chapter 142. Lillie is currently Lusamine. Watching Lorelei go, Yubei didn't return directly to Odomare, but he didn't go to Johto region either. The Johto region is far behind the Orange Islands and will not be affected at all. Where Yubei really went was Alola. After all, strictly speaking, Alola is very close to the Kanto region and is more vulnerable to the tsunami than the Hoenn region. And, if he didn't take a look at the current situation of Mutwo, Yubei was really worried. Alright, the truth is, Yubei was agitated by the mature Lorelei, and the same mature Lusamine couldn't help appearing in his mind. 300. Alola, the figure of Yubei appeared in the guest room on the second floor of the Melimel Island Villa. The morning light shines on the windowsill. Yubei stretched and came to the window. Push open the window and look outside. As far as the eye can see, the momentum of the tsunami is overwhelming. However, it was defeated by a purple energy ball. Turn out to be, it was Mew who saw that Howdare had a tendency to do good deeds, and used psychic terrain to provide damage enhancement. Cooperate with Mutwo's exclusive trick Psystrike. The 4 island gods did not use the Z movement jointly, and the tsunami fell apart under the attack of Mutwo. The explosion shockwave produced by the Psystrike explosion is not weaker than Groudon's eruption at all. The seawater rose into the air like huge fireworks, splashing in all directions. During the period, the seawater falling towards the island was blocked by the circular super shield condensed by Mutwo's thoughts, and fell into the sea. For Alola, a natural disaster that was almost enough to cause a devastating blow disappeared invisible. On sight, sitting on Solgalio's back, Lusamine and her daughter Lillie looked at each other, and they both saw the excitement in each other's eyes. With more and more beasts in Alola, the safety of the people of Alola is becoming more and more guaranteed. This is exactly what they want to see. Let's go, we're going back. Lusamine rubbed her daughter's head. Okay, let's go home, Solgalio, and go to sleep. Lillie ordered. The silver lion turned around and flew back to Melimel Island. Gladion, who was sitting on Salamence's back, thought about it, but couldn't keep up. Mother, Lillie, I will go to Professor QQ's house to discuss with him about the establishment of the Alola Alliance. Understood. Because of it. Lusamine held Lillie in her arms, and waved her hands without looking back. See, Gladion excitedly directed Salamence to the home of Professor QQE. At the same time, back at the villa, as a supernatural beast, Solgalio noticed the extra people in the villa almost instantly. But, after distinguishing and seeing that it was Yubei, he immediately let go of his vigilance. Thank you, Solgalio. Lillie takes out the Pokeball and puts Solgalio away. Taking advantage of the opportunity, he embraced the white and translucent arms of his mother Lusamine. Mother, I want to fight Sleeping Rash with you. Stickers of beautiful girls and royal sisters. Okay. Lusamine fondled her daughter's gold hair. Under Yubei's gaze, the two women went up to the second floor, and gradually walked to the master bedroom opposite Yubei. The weird thing is, as soon as you enter the bedroom, Lillie and Lusamine felt a strong sense of sleepiness. And when Lusamine was about to fall into a deep sleep, she suddenly felt a person pressing up. Who? Lusamine's eyes widened vigilantly, and he used his hands to resist the intention of the approaching person. Opening her eyes, Lusamine saw the man's handsome face and strong body that made her dream. Yubei? Lusamine's eyes widened in astonishment. Then he quickly glanced at Lillie next to him with a guilty conscience. The petite girl curled up, hugged her knees with her hands, and looked cute, as if she had already entered a dream. This is exactly Yibei's masterpiece. Come on, hypnosis used by Lunala. The target was Lillie, and Lusamine was only reached by Piggy, half asleep, half awake. But Lusamine doesn't know these things. Because of her now, her heart is 4.8 tense to the extreme, but unfortunately, Yibei actually acted boldly. This made Lusamine's spirit instantly tense to the extreme, and the drowsiness disappeared without a trace. He wanted to push Yibei away, but he couldn't do it. And what makes Lusamine extremely nervous is that Yibei seems determined to pretend that Lillie does not exist. Lusamine had no choice but to grit her teeth. The white-eyed Yibei with all kinds of charm, pulling over the quilt, he blocked Lillie like stealing a bell. He covered his delicate red lips with both hands, trying not to make a sound. Chapter 143 Guilty Lusamine. Life hangs by a thread. Latios. 3 poles in the sun. The outside world has become clear. Yibei finished his morning exercise. On the left and on the right are Lillie, who is soundly asleep, and Lusamine, who is panting and has resentful eyes. What did you do to Lillie? No matter how stupid, Lusamine has now reacted. Something strange about Lillie. It's hypnosis. Yibei solved the doubts in Lusamine's mind. It's really annoying. Then why didn't you say it earlier? It made me worry all the time. I reached out and patted the lively jade rabbit. Lusamine rolled her eyes coquettishly at Yibei. Do you really hate it? Yibei turned his face to the side, and looked at Lusamine, a stunning beauty with loose blonde hair, with a teasing smile. Why do I feel that the intensity of your counterattack today is comparable to or even surpassed the first time? Oh, I'm so annoying. You go away. Lusamine shyly pushed Yibei. Indeed, it was getting late, and Yibei was indeed about to leave. Otherwise, wait for the hypnosis effect to expire. It was really discovered by Lillie. It is estimated that Lusamine can eat him. Then Yibei borrowed the bathroom in the villa. Help each other with Lusamine. Do not misunderstand. There is ample time, in the presence of the time factor. The two are really helping each other, and they are not in love with each other. After taking a bath, Yibei returned to Odomare. Lusamine, who returned to the room, looked at Lillie's exquisite sleeping face, and immediately turned on the ventilation system with a guilty conscience. By the way, I changed the sheets to new ones. During this period, Lillie opened her eyes in a daze, which surprised Lusamine. He quickly hugged Lillie from behind, comforted Lillie and continued to sleep with her pillow on her arm. Half an hour, the air was almost the same as Purify, and Lusamine just let go of the worries in his heart. The other side. Strange, where did Yibei go? Entering the underground world, even going to Xiaju and Canon separately, but they couldn't find Yibei. After the confluence of the cathedral, and Serena's faces were full of anxiety, and Xiaoju's beautiful eyes were tightly wrinkled. Yibei disappeared. When did this happen? For a while, out of concern for Yibei, Xiaju even subconsciously ignored the legendary Pokemon in the Great Church, Latios with 2 leashes. Everyone, are you there? Suddenly, a hearty voice sounded from outside the Great Cathedral. The visitor was Yibei, who returned from Alola. Sweeping across the crowd in a spacious hall, Yibei's eyes subconsciously looked at the ball of green light that fell on the ground. Looking at the data panel that appeared above the opponent's head, Yibei just found out the other party's identity. Is Latios, blue and white, is dying for some reason. Beside me are 2 leashes, one red and one yellow. Heal Pulse is being fully released, and the light green fluorescence is just like the essence. However, Latios was injured too badly, a bit like the huge Dragonite back then. Life was overdrawn. Just relying on Heal Pulse will not work at all. Maybe I can help you guys. Under everyone's puzzled gaze, Yibei took out a blue great ball and walked to the side of the 3 phantom beasts. Sound comes out. The pitiful Sister White Lacias, whose red eyes were full of tears, raised her head immediately. Lady? Really? Sister Lacias looked at Yibei with hope in her eyes. As for whether the big brother can survive, Lacias had already given up extravagant expectations, but Yibei's words gave her hope. Sure. Eyes fell on the delicate and lovely Lacia. Didi, yes. Yibei warmly touched Lacia's head. I have a special healing power. However, I need to put your big brother in the Pokeball first. As soon as this remark came out, just encountered Lacias, who was hurt by humans. The joy in his eyes instantly turned into hesitation. Yibei ... Can she really save her big brother? Just when little Lacias hesitated, at the critical moment, the heterochromatic Lacias stood up. Choose to trust Yibei, the legendary trainer who was also drafted by Rayquaza Groudon! Chapter 144 Temporary Subjugation. Treat Latios. Lady. Lacias looked at the seniors of the same clan with puzzled eyes. How about this? Seeing Lacia's intense concern, Yibei took out a red and white ball again. Let's take a look together too. Yeah, Lacias, Yibei, he can definitely cure your big brother. Knowing the existence of the underground world, combined with Yibei's words, Serena immediately thought of the healing machines in the underground world. Just now they have been worrying about Yibei's whereabouts, although he knew that Latios was injured. He didn't expect that Latios' injury was so serious. Plus there are 2 Lacias healing nearby, so much so that they didn't take this matter too seriously. As for whether Yi is taking advantage of others, in order to subdue Latia's brothers and sisters, the two women believe that Yi owns Rayquaza and Groudon, and they simply disdain and have no reason to do so. Lady, looking at the three women, Latias finally nodded firmly. Watching Yi use the great ball between the blue Baxiang and the common red and white ball between the red Baxiang to subdue their siblings. The two poke balls fell into stability without shaking at all. Without the timely treatment of the two Latias, for Latios' injury, it is undoubtedly an excellent opportunity to continue to deteriorate. Knowing that the situation is urgent, Yi did not hesitate at all. Consciousness landed, Bbook, in the underground world, and quickly established a secret base around him. Put the great ball containing Latios into the healing machine. Wait until the healing machine starts running. Yi released Latias just now, like blooms. The figure of Latia's red Baxiang appeared in the base. At the same time, and Serena stepped in from the outside. How's the situation, Yi? On the beautiful, white and energetic faces of the two women, there is a strong concern for Latios. I've put the great ball with Latios into the healing machine. Although it may take some time, but the end result should be fine. Following Yi words, the two women realized that they looked at the healing machine that was running at full capacity. And very clever Latias, immediately following the line of sight of the two women, they found the machine in operation. A pair of big smart eyes were full of worry. With a flick, take out Dragonite's Pokeball, and Yi releases it. Don't worry too much, Latias. Dragonite used to suffer more damage than Latios, but now he is still alive and well. Kui long. Dragonite squinted his eyes like a normal cat, and rubbed Yi cheek affectionately. Ha ha. Pushing aside the enthusiastic joy, Yi smiled and continued. So you want this machine? Have enough confidence in me, in your big brother Latios. Thanks. Latias expressed his gratitude to Yi telepathically. Hearing this, Yi had a smile on his face, and stretched out his hand to caress the well-behaved Latia's head. Then, looking at the machine still running at full capacity, said, it looks like it won't get better in a short time. Latias will continue to wait here. Paused. Yi turned his head to look at the two women. Let's go up first, find a place to log in with your real body, otherwise it would be too strange for your body to stand motionless like a sculpture in the great church. In addition, the most important thing has been resolved, and it is time to deal with the two matters of Xiaojia and Latias. Chapter 145 Another Raelian Latias. Invite Xiaojia. Consciousness returns to the outside world. Cathedral. Seeing that Yi who had been silent all this time, suddenly opened his closed eyes, Canon, Ash, and Xiaojia immediately surrounded him with concern. How's Latios? It's already under treatment, and we'll have to wait and see what the specific result will be. Answered three questions. Yi looked at the alien Latias in the distance. Same. At this time, the heterochromatic Latias is also looking at Yi Want to take a look? Yi asked. Latias, who was worried about the safety of the two nephews, nodded. Then, please come in first. Yi took out an Ultra Ball whose top half was yellow and black, and subdued Latias of a different color. Follow suit. Yi brought the heterochromatic Latias to Latias who was waiting for the healing machine. As you can see, the machine is treating Latios. When the green light turns on, it means Latios is out of danger. You can wait here. Lady. Red Latias glanced at the senior who appeared beside him in surprise. Meeting Latias' suspicious eyes, different color Latias floated to Latias. Stretch out your hand and caress Latias' furry head covered with short red hair. Lady. Feeling the warmth of family, Latias immediately fell into the arms of his seniors. Witnessing such a heartwarming scene unfolding in front of my eyes, Yi did not disturb the two Pokémon, and quietly exited the underground world. Back outside again, facing the surprised gazes of Xiaojia and others, Yi sent Xiaojia an invitation to the underground world. At the same time, with Xiaojia agreeing to the invitation, next to Yi ear, a reminder soon sounded. Invited target Xiaojia was detected. She had won the Unova Virtus Conference and won the championship, and defeated an elite in the Elite Four transposition battle, and was later defeated and replaced by Katlia. Comprehensively evaluated the Elite Four level, Unova region data update, Virtus Conference winner, or even an Elite Four. If it wasn't mentioned in the system, Yi would never have imagined. Xiaojia, whose main job is a model, Ask for Flowers, actually once served as the Elite Four of Unova region. This is incredible, especially combined with the influence of Xiaojia. It is incredible that this incident has not left any traces on the internet. I'm afraid it wasn't that Xiaojia encountered the same embarrassing situation as King Lu. Before his butt was warmed up, he was kicked off the throne. The difference is that, one is elite and one is champion. So much so that Xiaojia didn't have the nerve to mention this glorious past to fans. The other side, Xiaojia, who accepted the invitation, tilted her head. A look of doubt flashed across the beautiful face. Underworld? What is it? Then everyone, when Latios' injury improves, I will send them back together. Yi intends to find a quiet place and enter the underground world. His words, interrupted Xiaojua's meditation. Okay, with the identity of Interpol, Canon trusts Yi Bei very much. I'm not worried that Yi Bei will just abduct the Latios brothers and sisters. Chapter 146, Little Jua visits the underground for the first time. Before leaving, Yi Bei had the honor to witness Odomare, a professional in charge of the funeral industry, pack and take away the remains of two thieves. Yes, two. Even sister thief hiding in the machine is no exception. After Soul Dew is taken by Ash. During the treatment of Latios' injuries, I felt that the big brother Latios was getting more and more serious injuries. Under rage, Latias used Dragon Pulse to completely end two sinful lives. At the same time, the hotel where Yi Bei and his two daughters stayed. Invited by Yi Bei, Xiaojuan also came here. Then, let's meet in the underground world. Then pass on the login method of the underground world to Xiaojua. Yi Bei's voice fell. Then the whole figure disappeared in an instant. Immediately afterwards, in Xiaojua's eyes, the figures of Ye and Tuzi also quickly disappeared in front of her eyes. So, what is the underground world? Xiaojua followed Yi Bei's words with a confused face. Make a login attempt. Little Jua felt her world spinning for a while. Black eyes. When he opened his eyes, his body appeared in a bright underground tunnel. Tunnel is divided into front and rear sides, and there is no end in sight at a glance. On the left and right sides are flat and wide rock walls, and the entrance of a block of houses come into view. The figures of Yi Bei, Serena, and two Latias all surrounded a machine. What the hell is? The underground world is a different world that integrates secret realms and tunnel treasure digging, and is associated with various regions. Also located in the secret base, it has two main functions of healing and teleportation. Facing the puzzled eyes of Xiaojua and the two Latias, Yi Bei simply explained the general situation of the underground world. I see. Xiaojua's face suddenly revealed. With such amazing other worlds and machines out there, it's no wonder Yi Bei promises to heal Latios' wounds. By the way, what is the secret realm like? Can you take me back? If possible, I would like to visit the Unova underground. The young lady, Jua, who is dressed in a light and familiar style, reveals girlish expectations. Keep your eyes firmly on lock on Yi Bei. Of course. Yi Bei nodded in agreement. And Serena, too? Of course. Let me introduce the magic of the underground world to Sister Xiaojua. Serena happily came to Xiaojua's side. He stretched out his arm, and hugged Xiaojua's arm affectionately. And, silently, she glanced at Latias, who was crying and red-eyed beside her. The girl felt a little unbearable from the bottom of her heart. I won't go. Okay, with you here to check the situation here at any time, Latias can rest assured. Just when Yi Bei was about to leave with his two daughters, out of Yi Bei's expectation, looking at them thoughtfully, feeling the pure worry in the girl's heart, she glanced at her juniors. The heterochromatic Latias floated to Yi Bei's side, showing a friendly look. Can I follow you to visit the secret place? Sure. Knowing that Lati 3.9 Yaz is a super dragon, it is not surprising that he can telepathize. Yi Bei was not intimidated. But, we need to go through the teleportation device to go to other regions. Paused. Yi Bei took out the ultra ball that had subdued the different colored Latias before. The space of the teleportation device is not that wide. I will wrong you first, and I will let you out later. Thanks, that's no problem. Chapter 147, Little Jua shocked. A great battle in the secret realm. Unova region, Opelucid City underground secret base. Click. The teleporter opens. Yi Bei, Serena, and Xiaojua, a man and two women, walked out of the installation. Appears in this set Joshua's identical secret base. Are we already at Unova now? A hint of curiosity flashed across Xiaojua's beautiful face. Of course, you can choose to return to the ground. Yi Bei smiled. Back to the ground? Xiaojua was stunned. You mean, the underground world can still affect reality? Of course. Oh, after more than 10 minutes, accompanied by Yi Bei, Serena, Latias of different colors and one legendary Pokemon, visited the night view of Unova region Opelucid City. Holding an ice cream cone in his hand, after repeated verifications, Xiaojua finally believed it completely. Unbelievable. In this case, wouldn't it be possible for me to go back and forth between Kanto and Unova whenever I want? Xiaojua's beautiful eyes widened excitedly. He looked at Yi Bei who was eating a cone with a calm expression on his face. Of course. Swallow the ice cream in one bite. Feel a coolness enter the abdomen along the esophagus. Cool air invades the heart and spleen. Yi Bei narrowed his eyes comfortably, and faltered to answer. Although it doesn't go directly to the secret place under Unova. But this kind of activity seems to be not bad. Looking at Xiaojua's fussy look, the corner of Serena's mouth raised slightly as she silently solved the ice cream without speaking. These, she already knew it. As for the heterochromatic Latias, she in the form of misquinting her eyes at the moment, hold the ice cream cone with both hands and send it to your mouth. Like this, there are not many opportunities to snag human food, so you have to take good care of it. After enjoying the cuisine of Unova region, back underground, Yi Bei deliberately took the two women and Latias back to the underground of Odomare. When the people returned, The machine is still running. However, the relationship between mtlnations has become much friendlier. I greeted him. Everyone returns to the Unova underground. At the same time, in the secret territory of Badrock not far from the secret base of Opelucid City, a war has entered a white-hot stage. Both sides in the battle have tall bodies, like the appearance of a monster normal. Godzilla and Aerodactyl Behemoth King Grunt, who seem to be on the wrong set. In the Pokemon that looks like a Godzilla, the whole body is pitch black, as if wearing a full-textured pitch black armor. Dozens of barbs scattered on both sides of the back show domineering and have excellent defense and counterattack capabilities, strong and powerful limbs, and a thick and hard tail. It is the quasi-Brandon table of the Johto region in the game, Tyranitar. It's just that 357 is different from most Tyranitar. This black Tyranitar is not only a different color Pokemon, but also a totem Pokemon. Possesses a body shape far beyond the ordinary Pokemon. Every step makes the ground tremble, and every punch has the power to tear apart boulders. And his rival, equally extraordinary, not only has a huge size comparable to totem Tyranitar, but it is also a totem Pokemon. And the body of this Pokemon is like crystal normal, transparent throughout, surrounded by extreme cold and low temperature. It froze the ground under his feet, causing the creaking cold air to emerge around him. Chapter 148 Black Tyranitar. Yibei discovers crystal Pokemon. Where the two fought, very low temperature, fingernail-sized Deciros are falling all over the sky, continuously providing mysterious energy blessings for this crystal-like behemoth. However, even though they have the home court advantage, the situation on the fields is still very unfavorable to them. Tyranitar opened his mouth wide. Red flames brewed in Tyranitar's mouth, and the high temperature melted the nearby ice and snow, heating up the environment. Flamethrower spit up with a pillar of scorching fire, covering crystal Pokemon's body. The red flame instantly envelops rival. Under the high temperature, the enemy let out a cry of pain, and swung his fists to break through the sea of flames. A full smackdown on Tyranitar with a bang. Under the impact of the huge force, Lass took half a step back. Roar! The beast roared. Tyranitar faced the huge and ferocious maw, with flames attached to sharp fangs, bite hard on the enemy. Thorn Fire Fang poured into the enemy's body, causing great damage to him, and his body trembled. Sensing the killing intent in Tyranitar's eyes, it feels like the situation is getting worse. The crystal Pokemon superpower erupted, and Brown appeared above his fists. Fighting skills, superpower with a power of 120. Fighting also restrains evil plus rock type Tyranitar, quadruple restraint. Even if it's not a move of this type, it still does a lot of damage to Tyranitar. Knocking Tyranitar down with one blow, stretch out two short hands to protect the severe pain in the abdomen. Until the pain subsides, Tyranitar stood up again. Rival was no longer in sight. Roar! As Tyranitar vented his anger on Revenge's return, Rage roared. Screeching sound. The surrounding Pokemon who were closer to each other changed their expressions and ran away without making a sound. Dark Pulse. The extremely destructive black energy wave spit up from Tyranitar's mouth. Wherever it passes, rock and ground are crushed one after another. Towering dead trees fell down, and patches of dead trees fell down and fell into a sea of flames. Where Dark Pulse passed, it left a crooked ditch full of scorching marks. Yibei here. What kind of mystery is this? Blacks followed Yibei to explore several underground secrets of Unova. With some experience, Xiaojuo opened the minimap. Looking at the dark front icon, which looks very cool, I am very curious. Yibei looked at the icon of the Badrock Rift. My mind can't help but go back to the encounter with Tyranitar for the first time in this secret realm. This is the secret realm of Badrock, and it mainly contains evil-type and rock-type Pokemon. Talking room. Yibei's eyes glowed with anticipation. After conquering Crystal Onyx, if you want to say what secret realm Yibei is most concerned about, it is of course all secret realms related to the rock secret realm. Thinking that there might be a chance to meet crystal Pokemon in this secret realm, Yibei is full of motivation. Let's go and see. Talking room. A group of people soon entered the Badrock secret realm. Come into view, a large number of rocks, and a harsh ecological environment where few living materials can be seen. It made the two women and Ysala, Kiane's, Emperor Yaz feel very uncomfortable. The environment here so bad. Serena sighed. In such an environment, can Pokemon really survive? Xiaojuo showed curiosity. Of course there are, and the Pokemon here are generally strong and aggressive. They are very suitable to be the main force. Looking into the distance, firmly lock on the fleeting crystal color. Looking at the data panel floating in front of me, Yibei, whose inner excitement was ignited almost instantly, replied softly in excitement without looking back. Chapter 149 Crystal Aggron's future plan. Crystal Aggron? Ice plus Steel? Ability, Snowfall. Talent, Orange. Level, 70. Species Strength 600. Stamina 80, Attack 110, Defense 120, Special Attack 60, Special Defense 180, Speed 50. Come into view. Yi was dazzled by the series of statistics. It's Crystal Aggron. Not surprisingly, like Crystal Onyx, Crystal Aggron's rock type is also replaced by ice type. Ability also makes a huge difference from common Aggron. Snowfall makes the field enter the snow contest condition when it enters the stage. When it snows, the ice-type Pokemon's physical defense is increased by 1.5 times, the skill Blizzard must be hit, and its power is increased. Oh 90. Ability for Snowfall. That's good. Why is it good? Because of speed? Species Strength. Aggron's speed? Species Strength is only 50. It takes a long time to release the skill. Even if it is fast, it may take 4 or 5 seconds. And if the high-speed Greninja uses Rain Dance, it may be only a second, or even less than half a second. The attack time left for rival is extremely short, fleeting. Proficient to a certain level, it will not leave any flaws for rival. While the slower Aggron, if you use Snow Scene manually, when encountering rival with agility and thinking and decisive command, it is easy to fail. This is why Yi applauded. As for the orange talent, it is already comparable to quasi-gods with excellent qualifications. Yi is very satisfied. Yi is also very satisfied with the species strength improvement and changes brought about by the Crystal Aggron mutation. Yi observed carefully, Crystal Aggron's species strength, except that the total has been increased from 530 to 600, reaching the standard of quasi-god. Compared to common Aggron, the special attack speed has not changed. What has really changed is the physical defense and special defense, that is, the defensive end. This is good news for Yi who intends to conquer Crystal Aggron. Crystal Aggron's defensive end, more precisely, defense and special defense. Common Aggron, defense species strength is as high as 180, while special defense species strength is only 60. But Crystal Aggron has a special defense of 180 and a defense of only 120. In addition, physical strength has increased from 70, ADB, to 80. The durability of Crystal Aggron's special resistance has been increased. But don't forget, Crystal Aggron attribute has been changed to Ice plus Steel in conjunction with its ability Snowfall. The real situation is that Crystal Aggron's defense will increase by 50%. 50% of 120 is 60, 60 plus 120. It means that as long as there is snow weather, the defense species strength limit of this Crystal Aggron is also as high as 180. Double defense 180, plus 80 stamina. Durability is extremely excellent. It is doomed that this Crystal Aggron will perform quite strongly once it gets into a protracted battle. Species strength of 110 physical attack, although not very high, but it will not appear weak. And, in addition to normal output methods, Aggron can also learn Iron Defense, Body Press, Steel Skill, Iron Defense. Make your skin as hard as iron and greatly increase your defense. Fighting Skill, Body Press. Hit rival with your body. The higher your own defense, the higher the damage you will inflict on rival. The two skills are usually used by players as a combo. This is also the case in reality. Strengthen your defenses with Iron Defense, making it difficult for rival to physically break through Crystal Aggron's defenses, and the existence of Body Press. It turns over Salted Fish, a meat shield type Pokemon with weak attacks. Use your own powerful defense as a means of output. Not only does it increase its durability, but its output cannot be ignored. Ice Steel 4 times weaker Fire, Spark. With thoughts running in his mind, Yi took out Charizard's Pokeball. Come on, Flamethrower. Chapter 150. Invincible at the same level. Boss Pokemon. Roar. A fire dragon with a burning tail appeared in front of everyone. The flames at Charizard's tail radiated astonishing heat, and the heat wave hit the face. Yi this is? Have you met any Pokemon worth taming? Xiaojua was stunned. Serena looked curiously at the surrounding data panels. The moment you see the Crystal Aggron data panel again, on her delicate and fair face, her beautiful eyes widened. Is it the same crystal Pokemon as Onyx? Far away, extremely sensitive to flames, escaped into the ground, revealing only the Crystal Aggron used to breathe in his nasal cavity. I thought it was Black Tyranitar chasing me. Crystal Aggron opened his eyes, and the huge body as high as 9 meters like a truck struggled out of the ground. That's right, picking Normal's Totem Pokemon, even though they are larger than common Pokemon, are not too big. Like Aggron, the normal Aggron height standard is about 2.1 meters, slightly taller than humans. Even for Totem Aggron, a body size of 5 meters is about the same. But the size of this Crystal Aggron in front of him is more than 4 times larger than that of the same kind. It has reached the standard of the boss Pokemon in the legendary Arceus game. Perhaps it would be better to call it Boss Aggron. A ferocious monster like a heavy truck appeared in front of him, brings a strong sense of oppression. Xiaojua and Serena couldn't help opening their mouths in surprise. Even Yi looked sideways at the size of this Aggron. Crystal Aggron? Whispering the name in a low voice, Xiaojua was deeply shocked. What is Crystal Pokemon? Why have I never heard of it? At the same time, from the moment Crystal Aggron came on stage, a dense ice dendemil storm was blowing around. A bone-piercing chill hit their faces, making the three of Yi shake their bodies. Latias thought, eyes lit up, A psychic barrier enveloped himself and the three of Yubei, isolating the snow. Thanks. It was Yubei who discovered the situation, and immediately turned around to express his gratitude to Latias. Hearing this, Latias just squinted his eyes and licked the cone in his hand, but didn't say much. Ice and snow fell all over the sky, which improved Aggron's physical defense, also affected the Charizard. The flame temperature in the tail was reduced a bit. Asking for flowers. Real world, Snow Sky not only provides defense enhancement for Ice-type Pokémon, for other attribute Pokémon and creatures, blizzard weather will further affect their ability to act to varying degrees depending on their constitution. But even if the venue is unfavorable, coupled with rival's huge size, Charizard still has no fear. Mouth blazing flame brews in the mouth of the dragon. Boom. The red pillar of fire exuding amazing heat moved forward, and the high temperature melted the ice and snow along the way, hitting Aggron. The flames spread out, enveloping Aggron in it. Charizard is higher level. If it is common's rival, with 4 times restraint, this blow is enough to achieve instant kill effect. However, Boss Crystal Aggron, these are gangrene. In reality, size is also an advantage. At the same level, their attribute naturally far exceeds that of common Pokémon, especially the more prominent attribute. After increasing in volume, the resulting gains tend to become even more exaggerated. It can be called invincible at the same level, and can even ignore attribute to reverse rival. Such a Pokémon is more worthy of conquering the mountain. If you like this audiobook, subscribe the channel for more videos like this. And join my Patreon if you want to support me, link in the description. Leave some comment and let me know if you guys like this story, or you have a web novel you like and want to hear its audiobook. I will be happy to create them for you. Please like, share, and leave a comment on the video.